So it's one of the rare vihans or ubosots which actually have all the walls intact. So most of the ruins around Ayutthaya, the walls are not intact, but this one's got all of its walls intact. It's magnificent, absolutely huge as well. This temple here is actually used for a lot of meditation retreats and special Buddhist ceremonies nowadays. But sadly, I've come on a day when it's shut. So sadly, I can't get in there. But even just from outside the fence here, outside the fence line here, I'm still pretty impressed with this Wat Maheyong. It's a huge temple. Now just over yonder, there's a couple of other temples as well. So this is a nice big vast space, and it's just kind of in the rainy season at the moment, so there's a lot of overgrown grass. So I feel like a real explorer. And if I didn't have my wife and daughter and felt like I had to be like a responsible adult, I'd probably find a way to jump this fence. But I'm going to be a responsible father and set a good example and just admire the building from afar. Wat Maheyong was built as a monastery, a royal monastery. So it was built in 1438 during the reign of King Borommarachathirat II, and it was restored in 1711 by King Taisar. But sadly it was abandoned after the Burmese sacked the place, and the roof actually collapsed, and it was just left to ruin after the Burmese razed Ayutthaya. The major buildings in the temple are its chedi, the stupa, and the ubosot. So that behind me is the ubosot. And what makes it unique is there's actually, at the base, there's 80 elephants. And interestingly enough, if you're a tourist in Ayutthaya, the floating market, and there's some kind of an elephant camp nearby. So this is one of the elephant trekking routes. So if you're that kind of a tourist, then this is probably where you'll be plodding along, enjoying the ride on the back of an elephant. However, I don't really condone that kind of behavior. After riding a few elephants and seeing the hoots use those sharp instruments on the skulls of the elephants, I'm not going to be doing that. But if that's your cup of tea, then knock yourself out. But as you can see here, there's the 80 elephants at the base of the ubosot and the main chedi there. So that's ubosot, and that's the main chedi there. Now what else is significant about this place is during the Burmese War, as I'm just reading here, in 1568 to 69, the main army of King Bayinnaung encamped in the monastery. So this was the what you'd like to call the where the war cabinet would meet, and this is where the main army was based. And it was actually here that King Mahin, the king of Ayutthaya, presented himself to the king of Burma and retreated and gave himself up. Now the king of Burma captured the king of Ayutthaya at the time and sent him back to Burma, but it was on his way to Burma where that king actually died.